This is Bella, and she is a female Harris Hawk, 21 years old. We're just looking after her at the moment for a friend of ours who's on holiday. He actually used to volunteer for us. Hopefully he's having a great time over there. She's a magnificent specimen and a good example of how the females are actually much bigger than the males in most birds of prey. We have popped her in the mews with Roland, our 5-year-old male Harris Hawk, and as you can see here, when he first met her, he was wondering what on earth is she. Either it was a case of, I don't like the look of you, or hello there. Hard to tell, really. In other news, we've rescued a little owl recently. That's not just a small owl, that's actually the species. The common little owl is found in the UK, and it is, as the name suggests, rather small. When we first got it in, it didn't look good at all. We didn't think it would last very long, but after some painkillers and an injection of fluids with vitamins in there and some energy, it perked up, and it's since been in an aviary getting better every day. It likes to hide in the pipes that we put on the bottom there as additional hides, and it stays in there most of the day, but I can tell from where it's pooing that it's making a good job of eating and flying around. So we're hopefully going to release that one pretty soon. Okay, this is a pretty jam-packed video, so welcome to Owl Diary number 41. War isn't cool, but tanks are pretty cool. And we're here at the Game and Country Fair here in lovely North Yorkshire with our display today. Flying shows as well, 2 flying shows per day. It's a 2-day event and it's pretty big, so I hope you enjoy this segment of this Owl Diary. So I've got Nick and Emily helping me today. We have a selection of exotic animals as well, as we do at these events. And we're actually here for the weekend, but we're also doing other events for Outdoor Shows Limited throughout this year, including the Whitby Wall weekend. We have got the Cheshire Steam Fair, the Yorkshire Steam Fair, back here at Scampton Hall, and we're going to be doing flying shows at all of those as well. So really big events. I've had to get really early to get ready, and my assistants have arrived a bit later on, and of course got stuck in the traffic. I should have thought about that, because the A64 gets pretty busy when there's an event like this on. But never mind, they're here now, and we've had a few customers holding some birds, holding some snakes, and they've been having a really good time. So hope you enjoy these highlights, a few clips here of the flying shows here at the Yorkshire Game and Country Fair. So you probably got a bit of a taste from the clips there, the sort of event this is. It's a traditional country show. And if you are familiar up here in Yorkshire with events like the Great Yorkshire Show or the Driffield Show, it's that kind of event. There are lots of people selling everything from clothes to furniture to tools to food. There's of course lots of entertainment. The stunt show is still going on in the background there. And you also know it's a really big event when there are not only thousands of people here, when it takes about 7 hours to get out at the end of the day, because there's one lane and all the different traffic is merging into that one lane. And it's a big event when they've paid for not just 1, not just 2, but 3 different falconry display teams. So behind me, we've got the ye olde red-tailed falconry. They've been going for 30 years, and I've been chatting to them. Lovely guy who runs it there, really interesting guy, lovely character, and they've been flying some different birds in their show over here. We've also got, on the other side of the big arena, the people from Whitby Falconers as well. I met them for the first time recently, and they do lots of these types of events similar to us. They've got some exotic animals as well, and all 3 teams are busy talking to people, doing the work they're doing. And you know what, in all honesty, if they weren't here, we would be a bit too busy. We'd be knocked off our feet with the work, and well, I slept pretty well last night, and I think I'll sleep well tonight after day 2 as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of this Owl Diary. Well, it's another day and another event, and I'm here in the beautiful, incredibly stunning Yorkshire Dales. Just done a care home visit. We've done a few of these recently, and we've got quite a few booked in as well. It's a service we've been offering for quite some years, and it's what I say about falconry and birds of prey and animals, is that there isn't really any target audience, no particular demographic who enjoy it, because we do everything from nursery visits right up to the elderly in the care homes there. And these people, some of them have dementia, some of them just haven't been able to see the views like this perhaps in some years, and they really do appreciate it. I had a lady today who said it reminded her of when she was young, and she was a young child who stood walking and climbing and watching the wildlife, which is what my children are doing now. We visited this sort of area just earlier this week, and they had a great time exploring. So it's really important, I feel, to not just educate the young about birds of prey, but also to give other people, the older generation, that experience as well, the chance to just enjoy it and experience it. And of course, what I do as a job, I mean, get to come out here and enjoy doing the work I do, but I get to enjoy views like this. This is just one of about a dozen magnificent views, and it doesn't really transfer that brilliantly on camera. You just get a bit of an idea, but believe me, it really is breathtaking. I'm really enjoying being out here. Just such wonderful scenery. Well, it's another day here in the Museum Gardens in York. A bit of a windy day actually, so sorry if there's a bit of noise in the microphone there. Ollie's enjoyed himself on the tall perch here. So we're coming towards the end of May. We've had a really interesting season so far. We've had Yorkshire Carnival, that was great fun. In fact, when I was there actually, they had the parade that came in, and in the middle of the big sort of flying arena and performance arena, there were various different sort of floats, I suppose they're called. And I filmed this one to feature in a video about Yorkshire Carnival, but I didn't really film enough on the day to make it a standalone video. But see what you think of this. So it's an interesting piece of potential propaganda I'm seeing behind me here, with this cub group who are promoting anti-zoo, I assume, agendas, which is fine, you can have your opinion. But the thing is, the theme of this year's Yorkshire Carnival is our world, and it's addressing climate change and environmental problems. And without zoos, and I do mean well-managed, well-structured zoos who care about the animals and their life and their enrichment, etc., they're vital for education and for conservation work. How can we help sustain endangered species without having some of those species looked after in captivity? So yes, I don't agree with animals that these kids are displaying trapped in a small cage. Our birds of prey live in aviaries, but they fly free on a regular basis, so they don't seem to mind their bedrooms. However, we're not against large zoos. It is a curious thing to have at an event where there are horse shows. There's a dog show, we've got our birds of prey here, and some exotic animals. There are pony rides. It's a bit of a peculiar thing to see come in to the arena among all the other fantastic parts of the parade. Rather thought-provoking. So yeah, curious times. If you've seen the video I put on Shush Gulliver on Broadcasting recently about the DEFRA people wanting to ban the tethering of birds of prey, then, well, you really want to watch it. Take a look at that video, it explains a lot, and it's troubling times, but we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and wait to see what happens, really. So, funny story for you. Last week I was at home and I thought, there's a funny smell, what's that smell? And the smell got worse and worse. I eventually tracked the smell to a corner of my kitchen where the kettle is, just next to the freezer in there. But I don't actually have the freezer inside switched on. I use my big chest freezer outside for all the chicken and rats and quail and other things we feed the birds. But I did have a very big order recently, and I had a bit of an overflow. So a few bits went into the indoor freezer, which was then switched on for a week or so. And then once I'd used a bit more up inside the big chest freezer, I switched the other freezer off and moved the bits in there into the big freezer, if you see what I mean. Trouble is, I hadn't actually moved everything out, and I'd actually left, I didn't realise, a bag of 5 large rats. Now, of course, the trouble with rats is that when they, like any animal, decompose, they expand. and they had split the bag open. So when I opened the freezer door, the smell hit me like a lorry and I nearly passed out. There was rotting rat blood all the way down the back of the freezer. I have since taken the freezer out of the unit, thoroughly cleaned it out. There's even blood underneath the freezer, so it had to be removed, and that's currently sitting under tarpaulin in my garden while I decide whether to buy a new freezer for the house or to give that another clean and put it back inside again. I'm not too sure yet. Moral of the story here, lesson I've learnt is, if you're going to switch your freezer off, make sure it's empty. Anyway, moving on. I'd like to just say that I am a very busy person, and this week in particular, I'm incredibly busy. I don't even know how I'm squeezing out a quick edit for this Owl Diary here. However, I could not do everything I do without the wonderful help from my team. That's the volunteers on displays, and that's the volunteers back at headquarters as well. And I'd especially like to thank Nick, because she's been really supporting me over the last few months, including making lots of braided equipment for the birds. Look at this array of equipment she's made. Absolutely wonderful, even in the Owl Adventures colours, blue and yellow, which is fantastic. So thank you to her, because she really is helping me and everybody else in the team keep things rolling and going on just as they should be. So we've got a really busy summer coming up. We've got lots of events, and if you'd like to know more about those events, then visit our website and look at our social media. I still need to make a new Facebook page. Yes, if you missed the last Owl Diary, the Facebook was hacked and I had to start a new page entirely, and I didn't have any admins, other than myself of course, on the Facebook page for Owl Adventures, which is, you know, a bit of a shame. Oh, I must mention the TikTok channel that Emily and Robin have created. Really thanks to them. We've got a fantastic new channel on there which we've started. It's Owl Adventures 2011 if you want to take a look. Some really unique content on there, and of course Emily and Robin, they're like, what, 20 years old? They're the whippersnappers of the team, and they're doing a fantastic job with it. Actually, I must say, I don't really get it now. I'm a bit too old for that. Seriously, I spent 5 minutes on the other day. It was like I'd taken LSD. It's crazy. TikTok, what is that all about? You know what I mean? But anyway, take a look at that. So it's Owl Adventures 2011. In the last Owl Diary, also, you may have seen the baby owl at the beginning there, the burrowing owl. Well, we've given it a name. Someone suggested the name Pepper, and Pepper is down here. There's me lying on the floor. Nice. How are you doing, Pepper? Making some noise to say, what do you want? What are you doing? Pepper's doing really well. Still a bit fluffy on the head. Bit nervous of the camera, it looks like. A bit camera shy there. So now people are saying, oh, is that a baby owl? And I'm kind of saying, well, 9 weeks old now, not really a baby as such, very much a juvenile bird, and of course fully grown, but really, really lovely little bird. A little bit jumpy when we first go into the aviary, oddly enough, but once it's on the glove, it's really very settled, and we've even been doing quite a lot of food recall back for it as well, running up to the glove or flying to the glove for bits of food. And of course burrowing owls, they do spend most of their time on the ground or low down running around, so it's not a high flying species of owl, naturally awake during the day as well. Right, I think that's it for this month's Owl Diary. Please do check out the channel for more interesting things. Yes, Ollie wants to join in. Got anything to say there? Go on, say something to our nice viewers. Try again. Usually if I hoot, he'll hoot back. Let's try now. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. There you go. One more time. Sure it wasn't a fluke? Woo-hoo. Yeah, right, he's ignoring me now. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching.